Today we're going to be taking a look at and installing Yakima's side loader mounting brackets for the Yakima 1A Raingutter Towers, part number Y08002. These brackets are going to allow camper shells that don't have gutter rails to work with roof-mounted racks that are for gutter rails. These are designed to work with the Yakima 1A Raingutter Towers, part number Y00101. And you can use different size round bars. The ones we're currently using are 58 inches, and they're part number Y00409. These can be mounted any distance apart that you desire, and they'll work with bike racks, kayak carriers, cargo carriers. You can even throw a John boat up here. The bracket measures 5 3/4 inches long, 15/16 inches wide, and 13/16 inches tall. Your towers will sit right into the gutter rail. Your clamp will fit underneath, and you just tighten it down. Our customer Tom purchased these, and this is what he had to say. Side loaders are the only product I have found to secure racks to camper shells. Very secure, no water leaks into shell, quality product. If you're comparing these to other camper shell mounting options, there are top loaders with railing. Those are nice because you can adjust the spacing, whereas these are permanently mounted in the spacing that you've chosen. However, the top mounted railing does have the issue of potentially caving through the top, where these are more rugged, attached to the side. Also, placing the mounting point further apart helps increase its rigidness. Included with your kit, you're going to get 2 rain gutter brackets. You're going to get a rubber seal that goes between the bracket and your camper shell. And you're going to get a large rectangular washer that's going to help clamp it to the inside of your camper shell and prevent it from pulling through. This is great when comparing it to other kits that don't have this. They just use washers. This is a much larger surface area than those, so it's going to be much more rigid, especially on a fiberglass camper shell. To install our hardware, you're going to need a 1/2 inch socket, a 5/16 drill bit, and a tape measure to help you line everything up and make sure it's even. Each camper shell is going to be slightly different, so you're going to have to line yours up to find that appropriate spot. The way I like to do that, we'll put the brackets on our gutter towers and we'll tighten it down. We're going to do this on the other side as well. We'll set our bars on top of our camper shell in about the position we want them to be mounted. We want to make sure that both sides match up. So you want to find some reference points. We're going to use the top of our window glass molding here and the front of our camper shell to help line this up. We're going to measure from there to there and make sure that it's even on both sides, and also that it's the same distance from the front of the camper shell on both sides. Once you've got it lined up and even on both sides, we're going to make a mark around our bracket using a little paint stick. We're going to do that on both sides. You can then take your bracket, we're going to line it up with the marks that we made. We're going to mark our drill point. We're going to do that on both sides. We'll now use our 5/16 drill bit to drill out our markings. I'll clean off the area. You can go ahead and clean the paint stick markings that you made off as well. Put a little bit of silicone around the hole. That'll help seal it up to prevent any moisture from leaking into your camper shell. We'll take our bracket, put the rubber strip on the back of it, slide our hardware through the bracket, these little carriage bolts, and we'll push those through our holes. We'll do that on the other side as well. We're now inside of our camper shell towards the front. Here's our 2 bolts with the silicone on them that we pushed through. We'll now put our nut plate on. That'll slide over both of our bolts. And now if they're not pushed through far enough to get both the lock washer and the nut on them, you can thread the nut on first on each one. Use your 1/2 inch socket to pull the bolts the rest of the way through. And then we can take our nut off one at a time. Place on our lock washer and reinstall the nut. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Now we'll tighten them both down. And we'll repeat that same process on the other side. You can now put your crossbars into place. And make sure that your overhang is even on both sides and tighten down your gutter foot towers. The kit comes with one set of brackets, one for each side. So if you want to mount 2 bars on your camper shelf to be able to mount things, you'll need to purchase 2 kits. And you'll install that same kit on the rear in the exact same way. When you're installing these, you do want to keep in mind that you want to keep the bars at equal height, or keep your rear crossbar slightly higher than your front crossbar. And now that you've got both your bars installed and adjusted, you're ready to load them up and hit the road. And that completes our look at Yakima's side loader mounting brackets for the Yakima 1A Raingutter Towers, part number Y08002.